Listen carefully, because what you're about to hear has never been officially acknowledged, never been included in any archaeological report, and never been released to the public without being immediately buried under layers of denial. It begins with a patrol team in the remote mountains of Afghanistan, an area so isolated, so brutally silent, that even the winds sound like whispers of something ancient. These soldiers weren't searching for history. They were searching for shelter. But what they found was a chamber carved into the side of a mountain, completely hidden, completely untouched, and completely out of place. A structure no one had seen before. A structure no map had ever marked. A structure that looked older than the mountains themselves. At first, it felt like a cave, narrow entrance, dust everywhere. But then the soldiers stepped inside. And their voices dropped. Their breath tightened, because the walls weren't natural rock. They were carved, intentionally etched with symbols no one could recognize. Symbols so deep, so sharp, and so perfectly aligned that it felt like the work of hands far stronger than any human being. One soldier's flashlight slipped across the floor, and that's when they froze. Something enormous, something impossible was lying half buried in the dirt. At first, they thought it was a statue, a stone carving, until they saw the teeth, the jaw. The massive rib curve emerging through the dust. Not stone, not metal, bone. Bone unlike anything recorded in human history. The skull alone was longer than a grown man's body. The eye sockets were the size of helmets, and the teeth thick, serrated, and deeply rooted, looked like they belonged to a predator built for a world far more brutal than ours. But here's where everything changed. As the soldiers stepped closer, one of them noticed something even more disturbing. Embedded near the giant skull was a tool, not a modern tool, not a tribal artifact, but a massive hammer, crafted from stone so dense and polished that even with both hands, a full-grown soldier couldn't lift it off the ground. And suddenly, the carvings on the walls made sense. These weren't decorations, these were warnings, scenes of enormous beings towering over mountains, carrying weapons too heavy for 10 men locked in battles with creatures no history book has ever dared to mention. The deeper they went, the more the chamber shifted from archaeology to something closer to mythology. Something forbidden, something that should not have survived. The soldiers radioed for backup. The message was short, shaken, and nearly unbelievable. We found something big, something ancient. Send specialists. But by the time the second team arrived, the first team was gone. All that remained were their footprints, leading deep into the chamber, and then stopping abruptly as if the earth itself had swallowed them. The chamber was sealed off within hours. Helicopters. Unmarked equipment. Scientists brought in under silence. No cameras allowed. No reports filed. And the site removed from every map. But what happened inside that chamber did not stay hidden, because one expert, one man who broke protocol, kept a secret journal. And in it, he wrote one chilling sentence: the giants were real, and they were not alone. The pages of that secret journal, they weren't written like research notes. They were written like confessions, fast, uneven, almost shaking. As if the man documenting everything wasn't just studying the discovery, he was afraid of it. He wrote that once the chamber was sealed and the military perimeter was formed, the real team arrived: geologists, paleoanthropologists, linguists, and several individuals whose fields were never disclosed. Their badges were blank. Their eyes didn't match their silence. The skull was the first thing they examined, and immediately, something was wrong. The bone density. The structure, the size, none of it matched any known species. Not human, not animal, not prehistoric. When they scanned the fossil surface with portable equipment, The reading spiked wildly, almost as if the skeleton wasn't just ancient, but preserved in a way no natural process could explain. One scientist wiped his forehead and whispered, "This isn't supposed to exist on Earth." But the journal continued with something even stranger. Behind the giant skeleton, partially buried under the collapsed chamber wall, was a second object. At first, they thought it was another bone, but as they removed the layers of sediment, brushing away the hardened dust of thousands of years, the truth became clearer. It wasn't bone. It was metal, a slab massive, heavy, and shaped with precision far beyond anything an ancient civilization should have been capable of. With engravings, symbols matching the carvings on the walls, one of the linguists leaned in. Shock on his face, he recognized the pattern, not from Afghanistan. Not from Central Asia, but from artifacts found thousands of miles away across continents, symbols connected to myths of giants, fallen beings, sky kings, and civilizations erased from history. As they cleared the slab, the military cameras recorded something chilling. The metal wasn't corroded. It wasn't rusted. It wasn't even cracked. It looked new. As if the object had been placed there yesterday, not 5,000, 10,000, or 20,000 years ago. When one scientist touched it, he immediately pulled his hand back. The metal was warm, not from sunlight. This was a cold, sealed chamber, not from tools. None had touched it. Yet it was warm on its own. And then the chamber shook. Just slightly, barely noticeable, but enough for dust to shake. Loose from the ceiling, researchers froze. One soldier raised his weapon, and that's when the journal said something unbelievable. We heard it, a sound low, resonant, coming from inside the slab. A hum, a vibration. As if the metal wasn't just a relic, but a container, a device, a doorway, something not meant to be opened. Yet the team continued. They scanned the slab, and the readings went beyond every scale. Energies no human technology should detect. Signatures no natural element produced. The leader of the scientific team warned everyone, if this opens, the world will never be the same. But before they could decide what to do, the soldiers who entered the chamber first, the ones who vanished, their equipment was found at the far end of the room. Helmets, flashlights, rifles, all undamaged. No signs of a struggle. No blood. No footprints. It was as if the men simply stopped existing. The journal's writer said one soldier muttered, "Something took them, something from this place," and then they heard another sound, deeper than before. Coming from the slab. Like a heartbeat. Slow. Heavy. Alive. The team backed away, but the chamber door behind them, the very entrance they came through, sealed itself. Locked. Without a touch, without a mechanism, without sound. Panic rose. Radio signals failed. The air turned heavier, like the entire room was holding its breath. Then the slab glowed. Faint line of light appeared along its edges, blue, pulsing, almost biological. Dust vibrated on the floor. Every tool trembled. The journal said, "We felt something inside the chamber with us. Something ancient, something waking up." The glowing line along the slab brightened, slow, steady, almost like it was breathing. No one dared to move. No one dared to speak. Even the soldiers lowered their weapons, as if some instinct deep inside warned them, do not provoke it. The temperature dropped. The dust in the air froze mid-fall, suspended like tiny stars. Every light flickered, flashlights, headlamps. Even the reinforced tactical floodlights the military installed. The linguist stared at the symbols etched into the metal, his voice barely a whisper. "These aren't carvings. These are instructions." Before anyone could ask what he meant, the slab emitted a sound, a low, oscillating tone so powerful it vibrated inside their chests. One scientist fell to his knees, covering his ears. Another dropped his scanner. The soldier closest to the slab staggered backward, gasping for breath, as if invisible hands gripped his lungs. And then a line of symbols lit up on the slab. One by one, like someone or something was unlocking it from the inside. The linguist stepped forward. Trembling. He traced the glowing symbols with his eyes and whispered, "This is not a tomb, it's a seal." Everyone froze. The chamber trembled. Again, this time stronger. Pebbles dropped. Hairline cracks spread across the ceiling. The slab's edges expanded. Split. Shifted. And a faint mist escaped, curling into the air like ancient breath. Finally exhaled after thousands of years. The journal described it in one chilling line: "Whatever was sealed was never meant to be released." The mist drifted toward the team, slow, deliberate, not like smoke, not like dust, but like a presence. Lights flickered again, one by one. The soldiers' radios crackled to life, producing distorted voices. Voices they recognized, the missing first. Team. Weak. Echoing. Calling from somewhere impossibly deep inside the chamber. Help. Still. Here. It's awake. The second team looked at each other with horror. Are they alive? Where are they speaking from? Are they inside the slab? No one answered. Because at that moment, something moved inside the slab. Not a sound and impact. A slow, heavy thud from the inside surface of the metal. One scientist screamed, "It's hollow. Something's inside. Something's trying to get out." The slab pulsed brighter. Mist poured out faster. And the chamber began to heat up rapidly. The linguist stumbled back, shouting, "Those symbols aren't decoration. They're warnings about it being powerful enough to destroy entire settlements." The journal described the panic in raw detail. Tools dropped. Men ran. Someone fired there. Weapon at the slab, but the bullet didn't penetrate. It dissolved, disintegrated. Mid-air as if swallowed by an invisible field. The glow reached its peak, and then silence. A silence so heavy it felt like the world stopped turning. The slab's light faded. The mist halted. The chamber temperature crashed into freezing. For a moment, everyone thought it was over, until the linguist pointed at the wall carvings again, his voice shaking violently. This wasn't the resting place of one being. This was the entrance. A gate. A gate to what? He swallowed hard, breath trembling. To a buried city beneath the mountains. A city built by beings far larger than us. The soldiers looked at him in disbelief. Giants? One asked. The linguist nodded. Not giants. A civilization? At that moment, a deep rumble shook the entire mountain. Dust fell. Boulders shifted. The chamber floor split open, and below them, through a gap in the stone, faint lights glimmered. Rows of structures. Columns. Monoliths. An entire hidden world, buried beneath Afghanistan for thousands of years. The journal's final line on that page read, "We found the city of the giants, and now something inside it knows we're here." The glowing line along the slab brightened, slow, steady, almost like it was breathing. No one dared to move. No one dared to speak. Even the soldiers lowered their weapons, as if some instinct deep inside warned them, "Do not provoke it." The temperature dropped. The dust in the air froze mid-fall, suspended like tiny stars. Every light flickered. Flashlights, headlamps. Even the reinforced tactical floodlights the military installed. The linguist stared at the symbols etched into the metal. His voice barely a whisper. "These aren't carvings. These are instructions." Before anyone could ask what he meant, the slab emitted a sound, a low, oscillating tone so powerful it vibrated inside their chests. One scientist fell to his knees, covering his ears. Another dropped his scanner. The soldier closest to the slab staggered backward, gasping for breath, as if invisible hands gripped his lungs. And then a Line of symbols lit up on the slab. Dot one by one, like someone or something was unlocking it from the inside. The linguist stepped forward. Trembling Dot, he traced the glowing symbols with his eyes and whispered, "This is not a tomb, it's a seal." Everyone froze. The chamber trembled. Again, this time stronger. Pebbles dropped. Hairline cracks spread across the ceiling. The slab's edges expanded. Dot, split. Dot, shifted. Dot, and a faint mist escaped, curling into the air like ancient breath. Finally exhaled after thousands of years. Dot, the journal described it in one chilling line. Whatever was sealed was never meant to be released. The mist drifted toward the team, slow, deliberate, not like smoke, not like dust, but like a presence. Lights flickered again, one by one. The soldiers' radios crackled to life, producing distorted voices. Voices they recognized, the missing first. Team. Weak. Echoing. Calling from somewhere impossibly deep inside the chamber. Help. Still. Here. It's awake. The second team looked at each other with horror. Are they alive? Where are they speaking from? Are they inside the slab? No one answered. Because at that moment, something moved inside the slab. Not a sound and impact. A slow, heavy thud from the inside surface of the metal. One scientist screamed, "It's hollow. Something's inside. Something's trying to get out." The slab pulsed brighter. Mist poured out faster. And the chamber began to heat up rapidly. The linguist stumbled back, shouting, "Those symbols are decoration. They're warnings about it being powerful enough to destroy entire settlements." The journal described the panic in raw detail. Tools dropped. Men ran. Someone fired there. Weapon at the slab, but the bullet didn't penetrate. It dissolved, disintegrated, mid-air as if swallowed by an invisible field. The glow reached its peak, and then silence. A silence so heavy it felt like the world stopped turning. The slab's light faded. The mist halted. The chamber temperature crashed into freezing. For a moment, everyone thought it was over, until the linguist pointed at the wall carvings again, his voice shaking violently. This wasn't the resting place of one being. This was the entrance. A gate. A gate to what? He swallowed hard, breath trembling. To a buried city beneath the mountains. A city built by beings far larger than us. The soldiers looked at him in disbelief. Giants? One asked. The linguist nodded. Not giants. A civilization? At that moment, a deep rumble shook the entire mountain. Dust fell. Boulders shifted. The chamber floor split open, and below them, through a gap in the stone, faint lights glimmered. Rows of structures. Columns. Monoliths. Entire hidden world. Buried beneath Afghanistan for thousands of years. The journal's final line on that page read, "We found the city of the giants, and now something inside it knows we're here." The crack in the chamber floor widened with a violent snapstone, shearing apart as if something massive beneath it was pushing upward. Soldiers backed away, gripping their rifles, breath shaking. Dust flooded the air. The ground pulsed beneath their boots like a heartbeat, buried under miles of rock. One soldier aimed his light into the widening gap, and the beam didn't hit dirt. Or rock. Or soil. It hit architecture perfectly. Shaped smooth, geometric, impossibly clean. Blocks the size of trucks, arranged with mathematical precision. Patterns etched into them, spirals, concentric circles, and lines forming symbols even more complex than those in the chamber. The linguist gasped. This isn't natural. This is a city built downward, into the earth. The floor continued splitting, slow, steady, controlled. Not like a collapse. Like a door opening. A massive stone panel slid aside, revealing a staircase. Wide. Deep. Descending into darkness. The journal scribbled one horrifying detail. The staircase was polished, not weathered, not eroded, as if someone or something had used it recently. The team hesitated, but the military leader, voice trembling but authoritative, ordered, "We're going down." Their lights pierced the dark as they descended step by step. Each echo of their boots felt swallowed by something unseen. Halfway down, the air changed. It wasn't stale or ancient. It was warm, almost humid. Like stepping into a place that was still alive. And then they saw it. The city, a sprawling underground world, so vast their lights couldn't reach the far walls. Colossal pillars rose like the trunks of petrified trees. Massive stone archways stretched overhead. And everywhere, silhouettes of structures big enough to house beings far larger than humans. One soldier whispered, "How tall were they?" The scientist answered in a hollow voice, "Judging by these doorways, 20 feet, maybe more." But the city wasn't empty. Not completely, because scattered across the enormous stone floor were bones. Giant bones. Hundreds of them. Some complete skeletons, others shattered. All of them. Massive skulls as big as boulders. Rib cages wide as cars. One skeleton lay curled on its side, clutching what looked like a spherical object made of crystal. Another was pinned beneath a carved monolith, as if crushed during the city's final moments. But the most disturbing sight was the center of the city, a massive circular platform surrounded by monolithic pillars with a giant stone sarcophagus resting in the middle. Its lid was engraved with the same symbols found in the upper chamber. But something was wrong. The lid was cracked just slightly, but enough to see inside. The linguist stepped forward. Trembling violently, he leaned in, his face drained of all color. Inside the sarcophagus, wrapped in decayed remnants of colossal armor, was a body, a giant, a real giant, skin mummified, bones visible through torn flesh. Fingers sharp like talons, the skull elongated, with a ridge running across the forehead. But that wasn't the worst part. What horrified the team, what froze their breath, were the marks on the inside of the sarcophagus lid. Scratch marks. Deep. Violent. Made by something powerful. Linguist whispered the words no one wanted to hear. He didn't die peacefully. He was trying to get out. The chamber shook again, dust raining from the cavern ceiling. Lights flickered. Then a distant sound echoed through the underground city. How. Low. Long. Impossible. Like the morning cry of something ancient enough to remember when the city lived. The soldier closest to the staircase yelled, "We need to go now." But the path they came from the staircase was gone. The stone had sealed. No crack. No gap. No escape. They were trapped. And in the center platform where the giant sarcophagus rested began to glow with the same blue light as the slab above. Journal's handwriting turned frantic. "The city is waking up. We should never have come here." The blue glow from the central platform intensified until it washed over the entire underground city, illuminating it like a rising sun swallowed by stone. Shadows stretched across the pillars, long and distorted, as if the giant architecture remembered the beings who once walked here. The hum grew louder, not mechanical, not electrical, but alive. One scientist clutched his chest. "It's resonating with us. Asterisk with our bodies." Asterisk. The linguist stared at the glowing sarcophagus, voice trembling. "No, it's resonating with him." The giant corpse inside the cracked coffin began to shift. Not fast, not suddenly, but enough for the bones to scrape against stone. Asterisk. A slow, creaking movement that echoed through the cavern like thunder. Asterisk. The team stumbled back. Asterisk. A soldier raised his rifle. Another grabbed his arm. "Don't shoot." Asterisk, if this place reacts to sound, that thing might. But the sentence was cut short because something else moved. Asterisk, not the giant in the coffin. Something deeper. Something behind the pillars. Asterisk A, massive silhouette crossed between two columns, so large that even the flashlight beams could not reveal its full shape. Another moved on the opposite side, a third behind the skeletal remains. The city wasn't empty, it was watching them. Asterisk, alive with remnants of a civilization that refused to die. Asterisk, the hum turned into a rhythmic pulse. Asterisk, like the heartbeat of the entire underground world. Asterisk, the carvings on the stone structures brightened, forming patterns that swept across the walls like veins of light. Asterisk, then the giant corpse exhaled, a long, dusty breath that billowed out like a storm. The team screamed, some stumbled, others fell to their knees. Asterisk, the linguist stared at the sarcophagus with hollow eyes. Asterisk, he wasn't dead. Asterisk, he was preserved. Asterisk, waiting. The giant's hand moved, fingers cracking. Asterisk, tendons snapping like ancient roots, breaking free from the earth. One of the soldiers fired in panic. The gunshot echoed. Asterisk, instantly, the entire cavern reacted. The pulse surged. The structures trembled. Asterisk, the silhouettes between the pillars froze, then turned toward the team. The cavern floor split again, revealing depths so dark no beam of light could measure them. Asterisk, from those depths, a roar erupted, not the roar of an animal. Asterisk, not a creature. Asterisk, but of something ancient, something intelligent, something waking after thousands of years of silence. Asterisk, the journal noted. The city itself is alive. It is a mechanism, a prism, a warning. Asterisk, and the slab above, the one in the upper chamber, began to glow again, sending streaks of blue energy down through the cracks of the ceiling, feeding the underground world like veins connecting a heart. Asterisk, the linguist suddenly turned pale. Asterisk, he pointed at the symbols glowing on the sarcophagus lid. They formed a message, a simple, devastating message. Asterisk, they were not gods. Asterisk, they were not men. Asterisk, they were the first. Asterisk, and they fell. The hum reached its peak, vibrating through stone, bone, and flesh. Then everything went silent. No hum, no glow, no movement. Asterisk, a single, deafening silence that felt like the pause before a world ends. And then the giant opened its eyes. Asterisk, two glowing, golden pupils, ancient, hungry, aware. The team backed up, instinctively. Lights flickered. The cavern ceiling moaned out. Asterisk, the giant rose halfway, bones cracking like snapping trees. Dust poured from its armor. Its mouth opened, not in a roar. Asterisk, but in a whisper, a voice deeper than stone, a voice that shook the ground itself. Asterisk, you should not be here. Asterisk, the soldiers fired. Asterisk, the bullets evaporated, mid-air absorbed by an invisible field around the giant's body. Asterisk, the giant raised its hand. Slightly. Asterisk, and every weapon in the room bent like molten metal. Then the giant exhaled again. Asterisk, but this time, it wasn't dust, it was light. A blast of golden energy erupted outward, ripping through the cavern, crushing pillars, sending shockwaves through the entire underground city. Lights died, equipment exploded. Asterisk, and the world turned white. The final entry of the secret journal, hours later, or seconds. No one knows. The chamber above was silent. The military team sent to retrieve the scientists found only this journal, lying beside the collapsed chamber entrance. The staircase no longer existed. Crack in the floor was sealed. Asterisk, the initials of the unknown giant, Civilization had disappeared from the walls. Everything was gone, buried. Again, asterisk, as if the mountain itself had closed its mouth. Asterisk, the final sentence in the journal read, "The giant city is alive, it is aware, asterisk, and it is waiting for the world to forget, asterisk, so it can rise again." The government sealed the area permanently. Maps were altered, satellite access was blocked, the incident erased, but sometimes, on quiet nights, asterisk, locals near the base of the mountain report a low, distant hum rising from beneath the earth, a heartbeat, waiting, watching, remembering.